And don't forget, I'm also just a girl standing in front of a boy, asking him to love her.
Oh, shoot. Sorry about that. I've watched a lot of rom-coms, 97 and counting. Many will say that the 90s and 2000s rom-coms were the best era, and I'd have to agree. From Notting Hill to The Proposal, nothing will beat the golden ages of rom-coms. Unfortunately, since the golden age of rom-coms, the genre has faced a slow death. They've changed the quirky dynamics of realistic relationships to just hot people cringe. Since the peak of investment of rom-coms in 1999, with market shares at 11.9%, there has been a stark decline, hitting an all-time low of 1.24% in 2021. A market share is the portion of box office revenue that goes to film studios/investors. If the percentage of market shares reduce in a film genre, it means that studios are uninvesting.
I don't feel you appreciate me.
Studios are investing in higher budget movies, rather than traditionally less action-packed genres like rom-coms. But what are rom-coms, and why are they so popular? Rom-coms are a genre that are meant to be comforting. They show relatable people finding love and happiness, even if it takes a little bit of trial and error.
And when my eyes are closed, I see you for what you truly are, which is ugly.
Most main characters in iconic rom-coms come with faults and quirks, but the love interest falls for them anyway. They actually love the main character for their faults. According to UC Davis, rom-coms deal with the universal emotions almost everyone can relate to: love. Rom-coms follow a basic structure: an unfulfilled desire, a meet cute, a couple happy together, an obstacle arises, a semi-resolution, a harder obstacle arises, a choice has to be made, a crisis, an epiphany, and finally, a resolution. Currently, the surge of rom-coms is reflecting its own structure. There is an unfulfilled desire, the need for a good rom-com, something that captures the old nostalgia and warmness of 90s and 2000s rom-coms. During COVID-19, something interesting happened. Rom-coms meet streaming services. Of course, Netflix has been around since 1997, and rom-coms have occupied a decent amount of their content library. However, with the excessive rise of streaming platforms due to COVID-19 and the exponential growth of at-home content consumption, there has been an endless extension of content space. Streaming services have risen so much in the past 4 years and is projected to rise even higher. Currently, in 2024, streaming platforms' revenue is $316.4 billion and is projected to reach $429.4 billion by 2029. Even though streaming is obviously growing economically, corporations still tend to go towards what financially benefits them the most and also costs them less. Licensing movies and TV can be expensive, so streaming services have gone in a different direction: originals. Netflix, Apple TV, and a plethora of other streaming platforms have moved most of their attention to original content. Last year, 2023, 55% of Netflix's content released was originals. Currently, the rom-com crisis of modern times has not been resolved. There has been no epiphany or resolution for the lack of good rom-coms. However, there are critiques that could show why rom-coms are not thriving anymore. Mainly, there is a lack of understanding of why rom-coms worked.
Oi! Oi! Sorry, the mic's not working.
Recent Netflix original rom-coms have showcased surface-level narratives. Most create conflict out of easily avoidable misunderstandings. But why is this a problem if the narrative is good? The newer rom-coms are getting one specific aspect wrong. There is a stereotype in rom-coms that it's just two hot people getting together. Recently in rom-coms, there has been a lean into this stereotype. For example, in Anything But You. Sydney Sweeney and Glenn Powell are classy business people who have just broken up with their equally conventionally attractive partners. There is no room for relatability and no room for quirks. Rom-coms have become superficial and very surface level. Ultimately, recent rom-coms are just showing aesthetics, something pretty rather than relationships people can relate to, something that inspires hope. I fell in love with rom-coms because by the time the end credits were rolling, I felt like I was someone worth running through an airport for. But by the time I finish modern rom-coms, I feel like I'm not enough. That is why I mourn for old rom-coms and why needs to be a revision of the genre, because the world could use a bit more hope. Thank you for watching. I hope you can look back and see what inspires hope for you.